Okay, who would like to go first?
I can.
Don't
Okay.
all talk at once.
All right.
So let me start with the big pieces first. So if you buy strip wood or molding, you know, like Hobby Lobby carries a few pieces, but you know, if you buy it online or whatever, and you don't have a place to store it, one option is the tube from wrapping paper. And I used those for a long time. But once upon a time, I decided that I was going to order a bunch of wood from Northeast Lumber. I think that's the name of the company. Anyways, they cut
Deal,
wood.
yeah.
And anyways, they gave me this box. That's what it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I upgraded. But over time, what they sent me, which I've gotten new stuff from them, so this is how they send it to you. It's got these little rubber bands on it. Well, if you keep that around for a while, those rubber bands will disintegrate.
Yes.
You know, as long as that's the only kind of wood you got in there, you're fine. But what I ended up doing is, as over time, I was like, okay, I don't know what this stuff is. I was constantly having to go through it. And I've got dowels in here too. A little bit of everything. But anyways, what I did is I went through and I measured everything and I wrote it on a sticky note. And then I put this another sticky note on the back so that it would, and so here's another one. You see it's kind of folded up, but you know, in here, of course, if you got it in a little baggie, that's great, you know, then it's labeled for you. Another thing I did is I had just some odd pieces, and basically this is a piece of cardboard. I wrapped pieces of paper around them on the end, and it's just a way to make it easy to, you know, pull stuff out of this box. And then here's another, you know, packet. But you can see it's pretty full. Just the odds and ends, different things. So that's one way. Now, once you've cut it down and or you have scraps, I save everything. I probably save way too much, but I have 3 boxes. And I have them stored by shape. The advantage of these things, of course, is, you know, you can put them in little slots. It does take a little time to sort that through.
It's a lot easier to find.
But yes, absolutely. And I can tell you that there have been times when I've gone through this box, I just need one little piece. You don't want to cut a big piece because, hey, you know, why not use these scraps? Here's some more. I do have some pieces here that are roofing that are going in there, but long pieces and then shorter pieces. And I do it by similar size, not necessarily thickness, but thickness could be one of them. Just kind of whatever fits. And then this is, you know, really odds and ends stuff, but still sort of woody type product. And let's see, I got one more box. It's got few laser cut pieces, which was my first. These were the ones I actually saved from kits and not any that I got, you know, from swaps. I mean, a box of laser poop. But this is basically laser poop. It's just, you know, very organized by, because it's a much smaller amount. I have another box that's just laser poop. But like, here's my toothpicks. You know, you go to Cracker Barrel or you order them online, you get those special round toothpicks.
The turned in.
Yeah, it's a way to find them. These are some craft picks. This is these, they're wood fans. Actually, somebody gave those to me, but they're real creative. Here's a whole piece. But anyways, just odds and ends. And like I said, I do save my pieces from kits. And what I'll do is just one day I'll take that pack, I'll put the pack together after I finish a kit. And I'll take that pack and then I'll sort it into the boxes. And that's all I have.
Okay, Shirley, who's next?
Okay, Kathy Ellison is next.
Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you. I'll have to lift this up, sorry. I'm very fortunate to have a carpenter as a husband. I saw this on YouTube. I hope I don't make everybody dizzy here.
Okay, I finally
Can you
found it.
see it? Let me back up.
Oh, wow,
Wow.
that's nice.
So I don't know how to get it in the picture though. Okay, so he made the stand, and it's on both sides. And then I put on the parts going horizontal. I put the sizes of all the wood. And so I have all my small wood in there, which is the tallest, you know, kind of, I can put short pieces in because I don't put that middle horizontal one in there too. So it's on both sides like that. And then for my smallest stuff, my smaller stuff, I just have tubs up on the shelf with my the dowels in one, the siding in one, you know, that type of thing. And then my taller flat pieces I just have I was fortunate enough to get an oblong box, which is, I don't know where it is. Oh, it's
Right
back
there, yeah.
over, yeah, right here. And so I had that in it. It's upright in an oblong box. And then over here I have the tubs, or the tubes with other stuff in those. So I have, you know, so I have a kind of a mixture of stuff, how I store everything. So, but that's it for me. And I did see that thing, the thing I have my strip wood in on YouTube. I just typed in how to store strip wood, and some guy had a tutorial on how to make it. So
Oh, all right.
that's it for me.
Okay, Shirley, who's
Next
next?
Next is Barbara Thornton Hill.
Okay. I am going to start my video here. I'm in my tidy garage here, which is not tidy. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is my wood bin.
Yes.
My husband also was very handy, and he built this wood bin for me years ago. So I have a lot of strip wood, but I ran into a problem of having too much of the big stuff. So I have these boxes, hold on, that I got. Well, you can see, my garage is a mess. All right, can you see these boxes here?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Those I have bigger strips and bigger stuff that I have, bulk stuff.
So
So
the sheet wood and that sort of thing.
sheet wood, you know, 3 and 4 inch wide wood, things like big stuff. And they are, I think they're about 5 by 5 by 5. They're a 5-inch square roughly. And they're 24 inches long because the wood comes in 24-inch long pieces. And so I can store wood in those and stack them up. Now, my husband, what I do with my little strips is you go to the hardware store or someplace and you buy, what do you call this?
PVC pipe.
PVC pipe of different widths and stuff, and cut it to 2-foot length. And I store all of one size in, and I labeled them on the end with a labeler of what size they are. And that's how they're stored in my wood bin. So I have, you know, I have rounds, I have half rounds, I have, you know, a ton of wood, but it's a really good way to store your wood. In fact, if you can't build a thing like Kathy has, you might get PVC pipe. I tape up one end. I tape over one end of it so they don't fall through. And then you could just get a big box and put, all one size in a PVC pipe and stand them upright in a big box. So that's a good way to store wood and sort it too. Of course, most people don't have quite as much wood as I have, so I could open a store, I'll tell you.
Well, she does sell some too.
I will sell my wood too, because I'm trying to get rid of it and I don't make, I had it so much because I was cutting a lot of kits and stuff, but I'm not doing that anymore. So I just have a lot of wood. Anyway, that's
Okay.
my wood. That's my wood and I'm sticking to it. And I also keep the little parts, the boxes that Preble showed you with the little rounds and all that. I have that type of wood, in boxes like that, those sorting boxes.
The specialty pieces.
Well, yeah, the specialty pieces, the ones that don't store easily, right?
Okay, Shirley next.
Kelly,
All right. Let me share my screen. I've got two monitors going on here. I'm trying to figure out what. Oh, there it is. Can you see this? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what I've got is like bookcase storage for my flat stuff. That's what's up here. It's laid out by thickness. I just got it sorted by thickness and my very, very fancy trim thing is a anti-oil container. So I just stand everything up in that.
We can't really hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Yeah, well, it's breaking up, so you're probably moving or something.
Yeah.
I'll hold still. My fancy vertical storage is an oatmeal box. And my horizontal for my strip wood and that kind of stuff it's sitting on some shelves that I have to keep it flat.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's the best I can do at the moment. That's it.
Okay, you want to stop share? Okay, Shirley next.
Elaine,
I think Rusty is
Yes,
trying to.
Shirley, I just messaged you, call on Rusty first.
okay.
Okay, go ahead, Rusty.
Thank you. If you're very lucky and have a son-in-law who's a welder, welding rods come in these. They do have a black lid, but very handy for storing these. These I stand in a pedal bin, old kitchen pedal bin, a square one without the lid, but you can stand a lot of these in there. And the smaller pieces I put in baggies, and I have a box which I put them all in. So that's how I store my stuff. End of story. But very handy. I say there is a black lid, but it's fallen under the table. I'm not going crawling at this time of night.
Don't blame you. We'll survive.
Those are nice and
Thank you.
sturdy too. Yes, that's good. Okay, Elaine.
Yes. I will say, I wish I could show you, but unfortunately my wood is all 1,200 miles from here. So that's not going to happen. But I was lucky enough, I use a system a lot like what others have shown you with, slots to stand it upright. But I happened to find a utility cart, and I, at this point, could not tell you where or what, that is made of wire mesh, plastic covered wire mesh. And I put on the you can go straight through. So on the bottom shelf, I put a heavy piece of cardboard, And then the wood goes down through the mesh, stops at the cardboard. And most of the openings are, not real big. I mean, big enough for like a 3-inch, by 24-inch piece of wood. But, and certainly for any kind of moldings or dowels or anything of that kind. And it rolls, so that's even better. I can roll it around my workshop if I need to. But I wish I could tell you where I got it, but I have no idea. It's been probably 20 or more years. But if you ever see one like that, it works really well.
Yeah.
So it's got mesh on the bottom or the
No,
grid?
it's all like a plastic mesh with big openings, and there's 3 shelves. And the shelves themselves, the shelves themselves are made of this plastic mesh. So I
Ah,
put cardboard on the bottom shelf so things couldn't go all the way through to the floor. And then I just put them through the plastic mesh, which line up above each other through the
Yeah.
first shelf and the second shelf. And it holds them really well, and you can see what you've got. So I'm sure you could build something like that if you were handy, but I'm not. So. And then my small pieces, I do pretty much what everyone else does. They're in, boxes or a small drawer or whatever. And that's all. That's all I have.
Okay, Shirley, anyone else?
Nobody else, but I have something to add.
Okay,
I don't like to stack my wood upright because it will warp. So like Preble, I have a box for it. And I take paper and write what the size is on it. And like when you go to the bank and they have the wraps around the money, I wrap around my wood and either use tape or a rubber band over the paper. So it's all bundled together, each size. And if you're very fortunate at your local miniature store, sometimes they have the long baggies that they sell the wood with when you buy it. And you can get some of those baggies, and they're like about 1 inch wide and 2 feet long.
okay,
I
In-
have something,
okay,
I mean, not to show, but to tell.
Okay.
With my wood, I do like, I don't know who's just speaking, sorry. There's a long tote that I put my wood in flat. I'm in a dry climate, so I never have to worry about anything warping. But, but with my, the little pieces, like the squares and stuff like this, I went to a train store in Ruidoso one time and bought all kinds of little pieces, every little you could imagine that they had. I bought every piece. But in the store, they had written on every piece what size it was. So and it was written in pencil, so you can erase it, and I just rewrite on my piece of wood. If I happen to cut that end off, or if I, get whatever, I write what it is on that piece of wood. So that way I don't have to worry about looking it up what it is, because I'm sorry, I hate when if I have to go to Hobby Lobby and get my wood and then have to peel that stupid sticker off, and it sticks and you can't get the stuff off and you're sanding, and I hate that. But the other strip wood was really nice. I mean, just that everything was written on it. So
okay. In my trailer, I have a box for each kind of wood, basswood, cherry, whatever. I got several hardwoods and all. And I use paper towel tubes for the longer strip wood, and then shorter toilet paper or whatever for pieces. And they're all marked, they're in order, starting with 3/32 and by 1/32 or whatever the smallest is. And so the tubes are marked with the scale, with the size, and one for the long pieces and one for the shorter pieces that would be buried down in the longer tubes. And it's all by size and by what hardwood it is. Okay, any other comments, questions, or anything on storing wood? Deb,
Mark has something.
Yeah, that just brought to mind is you could use the oatmeal boxes or Pringle cans because they have a solid bottom and there's a top on them too. I mean, they have a top, and you can, put your skinny stuff in those. That would be good too.
uh-huh. Did someone else have a comment?
I
Yeah,
do, please.
Marty?
I had gone to Ron's and got some wood that I'm going to use to make shiplap. And so what they do is they take a piece of can you tell?
Yeah.
Piece of tissue
Your
paper,
backgrounds.
wrap it up
Yeah,
and just piece of tape on the end, and that's how I'm going to store it. And I'm going to put it with the rest of my kit so I can when I work on that project, I've got it right there.
Yeah.
And then my other wood, I use mailing tubes, which has a top and a bottom. And then I just mark on the top what they are, and I don't have them divided up real clever, but I don't know why, I'm going to try to make them better, but that you can put a bunch of like flat wood or square wood and that kind of stuff in each one.
Okay, anyone else? All right, Cheryl, you want to start?
My turn. Okay, with have any of you, I know you got, a lot of you went to Kat's class a week or so back, whatever it was. Mine's going to be totally different because I wig differently than she does. But sorry.
Another way
When
to do things.
Yes, another way to wig. I was taught by Dana, and I have her permission to do this class. Now, when I went to all the classes with her with wigging, you can see my pretty pleaters, the different sizes. This one I use for my little dolls, the medium, and my bigger dolls. So it just depends, or how wavy I want the hair to be. But when I do my glue, she was using her finger, or I don't remember what she was using, to be honest, a different glue, but I've always used a syringe. That's how I was taught. And to begin with, when you do your hair, the way it was taught to me was you pull your hair back on if your hair is like your bangs, you pull it back and you look at how your hairline grows. And then when you do a doll, you do the same thing. I got to get my glue started. Sorry, guys. That, and got an air pocket in there. Anyway, when you start it, and the one thing I like about this is if you mess up, sorry, get my hands under here. If you mess up, you wipe it off and start again. Around your ear. See, like that. And then I always kind of keep it up here, drop it down a little in the nape of the neck. And I just do a light layer right now. Go back down to her ear, come back around. And then when you start the face, I usually go back a little bit. And she's kind of got a line on her head anyway. And then I always bring it forward just some. And then once I get that done, I just go like this. And I'll spread some of this around because you don't want a whole lot of glue on here. You want it as thin as you can get it to keep the hair in. And the biggest mistake I think any new person wigging is they put too much hair. And I, like Kat, use viscose. I have lots of colors. I bought lots and lots many years ago. Now what I'm doing here is called the wigging cross. Okay, sorry, let me get her back in here. And all you do is take a piece of hair. And if it's not enough, you can always add more, but you take it, you put it on her face, front to back, and you just kind of put it in your areas. Can you guys see? Sorry. I had to do a different thing, so it didn't work quite as well. And even though this isn't covered right here, I'll get it with the next piece. And then you let that dry, okay? The magic of television, right? So then you add more glue, but this time you're gonna go from ear to ear. And you take a thinner piece, and this is probably a little big. Oops, I stuck my finger in it. All right, guys, I'm not perfect, but gets the job done. Then you go like this. And you just put it down. Now, since this has already been dried, it's been a while. Normally you would let this completely dry, but because the front is already dry, all I do is pull it back. And when the sides are dry, I will comb it, put it whatever position I want it in. If I want it in a ponytail, whatever, I pick up all the pieces, put it into, because I like ponytails. I wear them a lot. And sorry, she's coming off. And I can't remember if she commented about, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, about buns in hair. This doll is done the exact same way as the big one. Except when, sorry, I got fuzz on her. When I get done, I tie her hair up into a ponytail and cut off the hair, the ends. Then I take, and this is a bigger piece, I take a piece of viscose and I tie it in a knot. And I tie it in another knot. And I can stop right there if I want, because see, you can see the little bun. No, you can't, but now you can. But you can tie this, you know how sometimes the ladies have the long buns? You can keep tying knots in this until you get the bun that you like. And I find that, you know, if you tie the knot the right way, it usually does where it lays better. So it's just, if it doesn't look right, untie it and tie it again. I also, when I do my viscose, I condition it. This is something Dana taught me. But again, all you do when you're done is you'll glue, I almost picked this up to my face. You'll glue this piece of hair down, then you'll glue the other piece down, and you'll cut off the ends before you glue the second one, but you glue it down, you cut off the ends, glue the other side. Sorry, guys, this is not very good. Glue the other side, and then cut off your ends. And then all you do is put glue on the back of it and stick it on the back of her hair where you cut off the back of her hair. I like to put wavy in my hair when I do my dolls, just because I feel like it lays better. But when I do like this little tiny guy right here, he is done the same way with the glue. I put a little glue on him, and then and him, I can't really get my lines as good because he is so tiny. But I do this with men's hair too a lot, because I don't like a lot of hair on the men unless it's a different style. But then I just take the hair, and this I cut up already. This is like, I comb my hair out, and this is just scraps. So I just stick his hair in here like this, and I leave it till it's dry. I mean, he looks horrific right now, but when he's dry, I blow it off, and it always turns out really cute. Curls, just like her, except I don't use heat. Told you guys I condition their hair. This is water in it's a 2-ounce bottle. It's water and a little tiny bit of Downy. Makes it where the hair doesn't fly away as much, because viscose will get up everywhere. It just flies away. but I wet it real good, and I've got glue on my fingers. And then I loosen up my curl, and I can cut these apart and make them into bangs and other things by just cutting, sorry, trying to get the glue off me. Cut a piece off. And for some reason, the glue is like sticking to me like crazy tonight. And then if you want bangs, you can glue this in place. And then cut. Let me just glue it in place.
Cheryl, what kind of glue do you use?
I use tacky glue. And when I'm done, when this is completely dry, I can either trim this, or this is my comb. And when it's dry, I'll pick through here to get it where it looks more like, but you can also cut right at the base of her face. So you know how bangs will flop out? It'll look like a bang. It'll open up. But see, her hair is dry now, so I can pull this up. And when I'm gonna do a ponytail or a bun or anything like that, I just twist it. And then I use bobbin thread because it's so thin. And then just tie a piece on there and cut it off. But you can cut these ringlets also, like these baby ringlets I have here, these tiny, tiny ones I have. I will cut these up and put these into a baby's hair. Because I think, and then I do just the same thing I did with this brown. I just put glue on the head and stick the head in there. And I don't push real hard because I don't want my curls flat. I want them rounded. And, but I mean, it's pretty easy just to cut them apart. And the one thing with making ringlets or curls or whatever you want to call them, it's just knitting needles, any size knitting needle, depending on the doll you're making. And see, and then I have a pile of curls that I can glue on his head. So a little curly head baby. Let me do her ponytail, and then I'll show you guys how her bun looks when I'm done. Sometimes if their hair is really dark, I won't use a white thread. I'll use a regular just piece of sewing thread, the color that matches their hair, because I don't want it to show up so much. I mean, you want it to be invisible. You don't want to be able to, if something moves or does something, you want to be able to hide that color thread. And I never, ever, ever wig until my doll is fully dressed. Wigging is the very last thing I do, because you spend all that time wigging, and I just broke my thread, all that time wigging, and then you mess it up when you're dressing her. So a lot of times, depending on how I'm dressing and what I'm using, if I'm shaping the outfit with clothes, I will cover the whole head with a plastic bag and just leave it covered till I'm ready to wig. And see, like this moved down a little, so I'll just do like you do regular hair, pull it up. And if you want it in a ponytail, you've got a ponytail. And when you're doing something like this, like I said, this is my comb. I just brush it down and I didn't get it very tight, so it's gonna move. And then when I'm done, my knot didn't stay tight at all. When I'm done, I will hold her hair down, get it flat where I want it, and then just trim off the back. I usually save a lot of these pieces because when I make babies, this is what I cut up. And if you get done and you don't like your wigging, all you got to do is grab at the bottom and jerk it off her head. Any questions?
You go from
How did
over her
you
face
use the-
to the back of her head.
Yeah.
And
And
then
you
you
don't
take
use
a
a whole
little
lot.
piece and go from ear to,
Ear to ear, right?
okay. And then you go from ear to ear.
Right. From as I was taught, it's from nose to neck and ear to ear.
Ah.
So how do you make your, use the pleaters with the hair?
Well, it gives you a wavy hair. So if your doll is, especially like Victorian and different dolls like that, you want a little more, I'll pull this and pop it where I get almost a fuzz out of it sometimes. And that way, when you're doing her hair and you're going to bring it up or back, you've got, I wish I had one to, well, this doll actually has pleated hair. Oops. But you can't see it. But you see how it's puffy on there, really puffy? That's the pleat in there. And then her bun. But it looks really, really pretty when you leave hair long when it's pleated. Let me see if I can get this off of this thing. And I will take you out. Let me turn this camera on.
Oh, and that's better. We can see better.
Well, I'm going to take you out here to my case with my dolls and show you my
Your phone
dolls.
doesn't really show very big enough screen.
No, and it's because the way I had to do it because I lost the thing to stand it. And this is dark.
We
Let me go
saw
get a
it.
flash.
We
Let me go
saw
get a
it.
flashlight. I'll be right back. Let me get a flashlight. And my bird starts talking. Sorry, guys.
Yes, please show the bird when you get a chance.
Get it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not trying the video. Okay, see the doll in the nightgown right there? You see how her hair is kind of wavy? That was pleated. The little doll in the red in front, hers is pleated.
So it just kind of puts waves in it, huh?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Like you can't, I don't know if you can see her back there. Let me see if the one behind the one in the pink, her hair is pleated, but it's pleated with a bigger pleater.
I see the large wave.
Yeah, on the side of her face. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can see
So-
like this doll in the blue hat right back there. See that those buns right there? Those are just knots.
Oh.
Okay. So did you cut your pleater into smaller sizes?
Actually, that pleater, those pleaters I bought as a kit forever ago. And I mean, when I first started making dolls, I bought it as a kit. And so they were different sizes. But I've only made 2 men in 12 scale. I'm not a fan of men dolls. But anyway. Okay, we can stop now.
Any other questions for Cheryl?
I have a question.
Okay.
I took a class one time and the teacher said that she would braid the hair and then unbraid it to make waves. Have you
Yeah.
ever done that?
You can, yeah.
You got to make very tiny little
Yes.
if you're going to work on our scale. It's all right for bigger dolls.
Right, but little dolls, it doesn't work so well.
But I
And that's
find
why-
doing it round a needle, a small enough needle, you get good waves from that.
See,
You
and
just
that's why I
pull it out.
like these. I have several different size needles that I use. This is not my tiniest. I have smaller than this. I don't know if you can see it.
Those are just knitting needles.
Just knitting needles.
Yeah,
Oh, like
like mine too.
pointed needle, huh?
Very fine
Yeah.
one.
It doesn't even matter. It
20s or
doesn't have to be
21s.
two pointed. That's just what I have.
Mm.
That's just what I bought when I bought them, and it doesn't matter what you have on that. So
Also, I dress my dolls first. I cover them with cling film very carefully
Yes.
so that no glue gets on them. But I do it on the slightly larger dolls, put the wigs on a base of cling film. So I cover the head with cling film, strangle them with an elastic band, and then they
yeah.
don't fight back. Then you can put your glue on this. When it's really dry, you can remove it as a cap and just glue it on.
And sorry, my thing is bound. I bumped it. With the larger dolls, like 12 scale, you can put them on a stand when you're
Yeah.
wigging. So they're not. I'm not holding just a torso.
Mm.
You know. I'm sorry, guys. You can put them. They're dressed. They're on a stand, and you can just do it that way. So, and like this one, I went too far down on her face. So what I'll do is do this and pull her wig off.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
if it's on the cling film, first of all, you can reposition it as you want when
Yeah.
it's finished. I don't actually tie knots in mine. If you go on twisting the ponytail, it will naturally want to curl in on itself. Tuck the
Yes.
end under, and you can glue that down in situ with the same piece of
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Did you see the question about the thin straight baby hair and the cute baby with the sample? It says, how do you do thin straight hair on a baby? Linda Patterson put a picture of either, I don't know if it's yours, Linda, or your grandchild or what, but
No, it's actually a doll I saw on Pinterest.
that's a doll.
Yes.
Oh my God, I thought it was a real baby.
Isn't it adorable?
Probably
So I
a reborn.
It might
Yes, I
be,
think so.
but I have seen Fimo babies, with real thin hair on them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, any other
Oh,
questions?
I really thought that was a real baby. I
Yeah.
thought it was so cute.
Cheryl, thank you so much for jumping in
Yes.
last
Oh,
minute
welcome.
with
That was lovely,
Barbara's
Cheryl.
Yeah, that's
snow
good.
issue.
Yes, thank you very much. It was very clear and
welcome.
explained.
I don't know
Thank
why
you.
she ordered this snow. I mean, she was so excited when it started, and then her and
Get out
Wanda
of the
had a little
demo.
battle between pictures of their snows in Newfoundland and
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cheryl. I
Thank you,
enjoyed.
Cheryl.
Thank you,
Thank
Cheryl.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, that was really
Thank
nice of
you.
her.
And if anybody has any
Cheryl.
questions, my email is, well, you know what? I'll put my email in the chat. I don't know if I want this to go out to everybody in the world. Just,
It was very clearly
yeah.
explained.
But
It
if
was
there's
very
any
good.
questions on anything more, because there's a lot more you can do with wigging. I just did a very basic, very,
Mm.
very basic wigging
that's
right
fine.
here.
Yes.
So, but I mean, I love making dolls, and
Oh.
to me, this is relaxing and calm. Somebody else
And
might
they're
think I'm crazy,
beautiful.
but
They're
thank you.
dainty and delicate and absolutely precious.
Right.
Jack has a few of my dolls.
Thank you, Cheryl. Great job.
Thank you.
Was very nice.
Okay, any other comments about wood organizing or the dolls or whatever? If not, I will stop the recording. I can figure out how to do that.